there's a very strong, quiet, corrosive force that we find in many marriages. A force that slowly breaks down the connection between two people, and that is blame. You know, when we very subtly, or maybe not so subtle, point the finger, when we keep score, when we hold our partner responsible for the unhappiness that we feel within ourselves. And initially, blame feels very justified because we feel frustrated. But the more we do it, the more we start to disconnect from our partner over time. And it really is a strategy to control, because it's easier for me to say that the problem lies with you than to ask myself, what is my contribution to the situation that we find ourselves in? Because when we say the problem lies with you, we can sidestep fear, we can sidestep shame, and we can sidestep the uncomfortableness that comes from looking within ourselves. So rather than doing that, I'm going to say that the problem is you. Now, I'm not saying your partner is free from any accountability. That's not what I'm saying. Because remember, I'm speaking to them too. But it reminds me of the fact that our condition will not change until we are willing to change that which is within ourselves, which means we have to take accountability. We have to look at what our responsibility and our contribution is to the situation that we find ourselves in when we're having trouble within a marriage, when we're having arguments. Because when we look at that and we ask, what is our contribution, what is my responsibility, we can then start to improve the things we need to improve about ourselves in terms of our character, in terms of our values, in terms of self-awareness, emotional intelligence, communication. So next time you have an argument, ask yourself the following question: what is my 10% contribution that got us to this point? Perhaps it meant that you didn't communicate. Perhaps it meant you should have communicated sooner. Or perhaps it meant that maybe it was the way you communicated. But always remember this, that it's an opportunity for you to develop yourself. Because it's a lot easier for you to change yourself than it is to try and change someone else.